Hello. So, I never go live, so I don't really expect anybody to come, but really this is just a test. Let me go to This is really just a test. I never forgot about the queen who requested live yoga classes. I never forgot. So now that I have officially moved and I got this new internet set up, I'm trying to test things out and see how it goes. Because the last internet that I had, like, it wasn't good at all. And that's why I never went live, but I want to go live. I want to go live and be able to interact with you guys more. So I'm just testing things out, but since I'm here, let me open this up. Because if you guys say anything, I won't be able to read it. And there we go. Yeah, so I'm here for a little bit. You guys can chit chat with me. I actually had a cool idea. So when I went to Canada in the summertime, and I met with my friend Diana, if you check my Toronto vlog, you'll see Diana in there. But anyway, she had these icebreaker starter pack, best self, these cards. So I decided to grab them. I think that they're pretty interesting. It's cool to have some cards with you just to get some conversations started when you're out and about with friends or just chilling at home or whatever. So anyways, I got these cards, and to be very honest with you, I don't even use them. I mean, I used them at first. So I figured every time I go live, I'll pull a card or two, and that way you guys can also use this opportunity to get to know me more, really. You see, this is why it's good to do tests. So I just saw that there was a little bit of a blip and it disconnected for a second, but we're back, and I guess that's not too bad. Because really and truly, like I said, I never forgot the one queen who requested live yoga classes or like a live yoga session, yoga video. And I do really want to provide that for you guys. And so, yeah, I'm just testing things out here. So if y'all want to join in, if you want to ask a question, whatever, by all means, I'm here for at least 20 to 30 minutes, just chilling and mossing with you. But back to these cards. So I figured every time I go live, I can just pull a card or two, a random card, and gives you an opportunity to get to know me a little more. And so that's what we're gonna do here. And just see how this internet connection goes. And so let's go. Or maybe I can ask you. I see there's one person watching. So what type of a question should I get into? So there's life question, random, deep, experiences, if you could, and would you rather. So the one person that's in here, write in the chat. I'm gonna say choose a color between gray, yellow, red, blue, green, and black. These are the colors. So just write in the chat what type of question you want me to answer, and we'll get into it. If you don't write in the chat in about 3 seconds, I'm just gonna pull a random. Oh, Ebony says great. First of all, thank you, Ebony, for being here. I'm truly grateful. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Brown coat blue. Thank you so much. Okay, so Ebony, I saw her message first. She said gray, which is a life question. And then maybe I'll do a green after. Oh, you just got the alert. Okay. So what's happening here is I just moved, which I know if you guys had an opportunity to check my recent vlog, you saw that I just moved, and I set up a new internet thing. So I'm trying to be live more often, and I know I say this every single time, but this time is different because I made sure I put some mushu, some money behind this internet stuff, so that way we can be on the roll and on the ball, and I can interact with you guys more. I love posting videos, but I do want to grow this community. Genuinely speaking, I do want to grow my YouTube community, and I'm not just talking about who follows me. Like, I want us to have a relationship, you know what I'm saying? So let's dive into this question thing. Gray and then blue. So let me find a life question and I'm gonna answer it. Let's see. So let's choose a random card here. So this is the question. What's your favorite board game? And to be very honest with you, I don't really have a favorite board game. One of my favorite games though is solitaire. And the only reason why solitaire is like one of my favorite, number one favorite game is because I'm a millennial. Like, if you guys are 30 and above, we grew up in the age where we didn't have all these like internet games to be getting on, and all I had was solitaire and Minecraft on my computer. We had dial-up internet, so you know your girl was not on the internet often at all. And so even to this day, like, just to calm down and relax, I get into solitaire. I like it. It's relaxing. It kind of gets my brain going and thinking, and just being able to focus on something that's like calm. You know, it's not like the games that we play now where there's so many graphics and like your mind is being overstimulated. Yo, Minesweeper is the name. I used to actually play that. I wonder if they still have it on computers today. I actually did play that one. And then I also play, I also play, the one game that I play that's not, you know, like a boring solitaire game is pool. I do like pool on my phone. I actually play and rank up and all those things. I don't put that much time into it, but every now and then, like, if I'm having a moment, I might just go and play some pool. So that's the answer to the question, and maybe I can keep going, who knows. So I'll pull a green one, which is an if you could card. Random green. So the question that came up was, if you could be famous, what would you want to be famous for? And my answer is very, I don't know. Let me see what you said here, because I saw Monopoly right quick, and I want to make sure. How do I get? Okay, there we go. We grew up on Monopoly and Risk, but those games always end in argument. It does, but you know what I'm gonna say? I think Monopoly is a very great game to get like your kids and your like early teens or preteens playing, because like, I didn't even realize this, but it's not until now do I realize the whole purpose of this game of the society, the game of like, not life, but this society that we live in, the way to really rise above and not get caught in like just the 9-to-5 hamster wheel is to leverage your money and actually buy property and get into investments and, you know, learn about I guess you can say banking. I'm not really a fan of banks and all of that, but knowing where to put your money and how to multiply it in a proper way. And it's like now that I'm 30 and I'm like around these ages where I'm thinking about homes and more so into investments and all of this, I realize that Monopoly is actually a really good game to learn and master, so that way you can try to apply some of the same principles in real life. And you don't gotta start big. Like in Monopoly, everybody starts off with the one little piece of house. You know what I mean? Like everyone starts off with just a little bit. And so the same applies in life. You start with a little bit and then you're able to grow and accumulate more. And if you like create a situation for yourself where someone is paying you rent or, you know, Airbnb, wink, wink, like there's way too much information online for us not to leverage what we have. If you have a spare room in your house, like you can just do the one room and create an Airbnb in your rented space and you've just leveraged your own home. You know, like there's just way too many opportunities out here. But to answer this question, if I could be famous, what would I want to be famous for? Y'all, I don't ever want to be famous. Like, I don't want to be famous. Famous, that word is just not part of my vocabulary, because there's a whole lot of other entities that come along with that. But I mean, just for what I'm doing now, you know, exactly how I'm living my life, if there happens to be a day where I have like more eyes on me or the community just grows into like a much bigger, massive group, sure. But like, I don't want to be famous at all, at all, at all, at all. Like, it's a dirty game, you know, it's a dirty game. It's not really my thing, but that's how I would best answer that question, to be very honest with you. And I keep forgetting how to see. This is why you need to do things often so you know what you're doing. I'm trying to figure out how to, oh, there we go. I don't know how to keep it on the screen. But anyways, this is good. I'm glad. It's been 13 minutes and we only had one interruption so far. So let me keep going. Let me pull two more cards, okay? So here we go. Gray is life, yellow is random, red is a deep question, blue is experiences, green is if you could, and black is would you rather. So drop some colors in the chat and let me answer the next question. What kind of question you want me to answer? These are the colors. I'm about to just pick a random question. Okay. Oop. I'll ask this one next. What's your dream job if money didn't matter? First of all, I don't like the word job. I remember in high school, Keith Hawkins, he was a motivational speaker for kids. He used to go across the US and you know, talk and do different activities at different schools with different grades. And I remember, for whatever reason, my Catholic school in high school brought him over to do the mentorship program. And so he basically came every single year for the years that I was there. Nonetheless, the one thing that I will never forget that he ever said is job stands for just over broke. And so from that day, I mean, I've had jobs, yes, but like, I just don't do well with jobs because in my mind, it stands for just over broke and there has to be another way. And so that's the route that I'm currently taking. But all I would do is what I do now, like travel, create my family, travel, teach yoga, connect with you guys. I love doing readings. I love connecting with my clients, because I love to see growth. I love to see someone who, maybe just in a space and period in their life where they really just need some guidance and maybe that like accountability, and being able to work with you or them and just see them grow and blossom. It's so funny. I was watching an an interview of, no, it wasn't an interview, it was a live stream. India Irie, she was live, and she was talking about how 20 years ago her mission statement was, I'd farm or teach 100% exactly. But she was saying her mission statement was that, she just wanted to make the world a better place, like through words and song, right? Because she's also a writer and a reader and all of the things. So that's what she wanted to do, make the world a better place. But over the years, after 20 years of making her choices based off of her mission statement, she realized, like, first of all, you can't make the world a better place. You can't. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be something. There are going to be the Jeffrey Dahmers. There are going to be the random pandemics. There's going to be things all the time. Why? Because we live in a dualistic realm of positive and negative, good and bad. Everything exists here under the sun. All of it. All you can really do is plant seeds, and which in fact what she said was that she had saw a quote by some polymath philosopher, Indian polymath philosopher, and he was saying, like, the person who masters life is the person who understands that all you can do is plant seeds and not even be around to like reap the fruit. And that really highly resonated with me, because 5-6 years ago when I started, when I got into yoga and I decided that, connecting with people and clients and all of the things was going to be my thing that I do in the world, like my offering, my whole mission was, I want to help to raise the vibration of this earth, completely understanding that, we are moving towards 5D and, just what all that means, and just trying to exercise negative energies out. And so we can welcome high frequency vibrations in. Like, that was my thing. That's really what kept me going, especially when I didn't feel like going. Not every day do we feel like getting up and doing the thing that we decided we were going to do, but this is why we have things like our why and our mission statement, so that way that can keep you going. But after 5-6 years, certain things that I used to do, or certain ways that I used to think, I'm not going to say I don't feel that way anymore. I just have tapped more or deeper into reality of things, and understanding that we do have these two energies, and together they produce their magic. Together they produce their magic. I know it sounds retarded, because there's some crazy things that happen in this world, and then there are some really great, beautiful, magical things that happen in this world as well. And regardless, they are all simply just experiences. They're all just experiences. I mean, we're here for a time, and then we continue on our journey. This is just 1% of you. This physical is just 1% of you. What you're seeing outside is just 1%, barely, of the expansiveness of you and the universe, and then some, right? So I have very much been feeling like, what, I don't really feel like I need to be out here trying to do this. I think all I can do is live and lead by example and plant seeds. Planting seeds knowing that whoever is supposed to have the fruit will have the fruit. You know what I'm saying? Whether I know the person or not. You know, one thing that I love about being here in Ghana is being able to plant seeds, is being able to share little things. Like just to give an example, one of my friends, he helps me so much. He helps me so much. Anything I need, he's there, and I'm so grateful for that. But I can see how, you know, just the mindset that, okay, the things that we learn in the West Side, obviously people here are not learning. So they don't necessarily know like entrepreneurship from the perspective of how we learn it, which is like, how do we work smarter and not harder? They know entrepreneurship from working hard. You know, that's what they know how to do. They know how to be of service, they know how to work hard, and they know how to do what they got to do. But they don't know how to, a very, very, very small percentage knows how to work smarter. And so just to give an example, you know, I made sure to let him know things like, whenever you get money, hold on to 20% of it. You should never be out of money completely. I understand that people here live for each day. They don't necessarily think too far down the line, and I get that. It's a beautiful thing. It's amazing to be in the moment, but also you have to have a balance between the two. Little things like that, or even just you know, how to leverage other people and know how to make money off of that, off of leveraging other people, or learning things like owning 1% of 100 businesses makes you more rich than owning 100% of your own business that might not be making any money at all. Okay, so just like little things like that, and seeing the light bulb go off in their heads, like, oh, because now they've just expanded their thinking, and then they can make moves based off of this new piece of information that they just downloaded within them, and set themselves up for better. I mean, it has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with me, but I'm grateful that I could plant that seed, because then he can continue to school other people in the same way. And you know what I mean? We're not just continuing on in the same loop. We're at least able to move on to the next, you know, the next cycle, the next loop, and just really grow and expand. So I don't even remember where this all started, guys. I just been talking. Again, not used to being live. I'm used to being able to talk and like edit and all that type of stuff. So I'm getting used to it. Who's ever supposed to have the fruit will have the fruit, 100%. And you've done your job. If you felt like, you know what, let me plant the seed here, plant the seed. Whoever is supposed to have the fruit will have the fruit, and they will be grateful. You know who they will be grateful to God. They'll be grateful to the universe. And so think about how that energy comes back to you tenfold. And if it's not you, your lineage, you know what I mean? Because I genuinely feel like, you know, a lot of things that happen to me feel like luck. It feels like luck. But what I understand is it's just energy that comes back to me, the energy that I've been able to put out. And sometimes I have to sit here and think like, wow, like I'm so grateful. Like I don't even know how and or why, but I know why. Genuinely speaking, I know why. Like in hindsight, I know why. And so I encourage you guys to do the same. Like literally what you put out is what you receive. I think someone said, asked for a color here. I think it was yellow that I just answered, right? I don't know, y'all. I'm losing track. I'm losing track of this stuff already. You have beautiful energy. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it. Well, thank you for even being here and writing in the chat. I'm grateful. I mean, there's 7 people here, so like the video. Just like the video, why not? Thank you. Thank you. But let me answer another question. Here's a quick one. Would you rather date someone you met online or go on a blind date? I'd rather go on a blind date. I'm more old school than you'd think. I think that chance encounters are so powerful. Chance encounters are so powerful because it's all in alignment with you. Like this internet stuff, you don't know who you're talking to, it's a little much. I'm not saying it can't work, but it's a little much for me. I like chance encounters. I like feeling like the divine is behind this, I like feeling like this is like a gift, a gift from the universe. Now, I live my life where everything is a gift from the universe. That's just how I live my life. That I feel like when you think that way, you welcome more gratitude into your space, into your life, and you don't focus too much on the things that bother you, on the things that don't create a positive experience for you. And when you're not focused on those things, really create more of it. Definitely depends on who's setting up the blind date. But I mean, think about it though. I mean, you would only want someone that you trust, right? If it's someone in your circle and they're like, here's the thing. I actually am for arranged marriages. I think that these days people have too many options. And to be very honest, when you have too many options, you don't choose nothing. So I think that online, it's just too many options. You can always swipe left or right or up or down. You know what I mean? Like there's just more and more and more and more. So you don't get anywhere. I feel like blind date, or if someone is setting you up, like you're opening yourself to the possibility of the reality you can create with this person, and you choose, you make a choice, and like you multiply that energy. And you actually move somewhere with it. You know what I mean? Like now there's just way too much, way too many options. We all love going to buffets, but when there's too many things to choose, like how much do you really, you know what I mean? How much do you really get to truly enjoy? So that's just my perspective on it all. But yeah, that's my perspective. Let's find a random red, and this is like my last card. Ooh. What mistake do you keep making over and over again? Before I even answer that, dating without purpose. Dating without purpose is a problem. And that's all I see women out here doing. And it's sad. It's sad because I know what people want, right? I know we all want somebody. Genuinely speaking, we all want somebody, but there's this illusion, and quite frankly, the music that's playing these days, like I cannot stand it, not to, sugar honey iced tea on these people, but the songs people are singing is not encouraging any kind of true love or commitment or like a want to actually grow with somebody. And growth is not easy. Shit, we even have physical growing pains when we're growing. You know what I mean? Like I've had some serious growing pains, and I know we all have. So think about it. If you're in a relationship with someone, these are two separate entities, two separate beings who are also individually growing on their own, trying to stay and stick together, there are going to be growing pains. But we're too quick to throw things in the garbage and think like we can move on and find something better, when that's not the reality. It's not the reality. So yes, dating with purpose is important. You find somebody who has the same values as you, who genuinely wants to create like a similar, if not same future as you, and you stick with it. You love that person and you get to truly understand what real love is. Okay? Romance is not love. Romance is a choice. I live my life romantically. Like I said, I appreciate and find gifts and joy and surprises in everything that I do every single day. And so I'm going to keep that energy in my relationships. But like, romance is not love. And I feel like, we're here to truly experience all forms of love, all forms of it, the delusional love. And then we get to learn the real, true, unconditional love. And like, I myself, just as somebody who has, like, if you guys listen to my last live stream, who's like genuinely manifesting, the family, the husband that I want, and that I desire, and that I know exists on some timeline out there, as someone who's genuinely moving into that direction. What was I gonna say? Don't run from me now. Don't run from me. Y'all, maybe it's too hot, because what I was gonna say just jumped right on my mind. Let me read this last comment. Maybe it'll come back. I can't even remember. I can't even remember. But anyways, yeah, I mean, just, if you're dating out there, y'all, date with a purpose. Set your intentions and set your boundaries, period, point blank. Be open to learn, be open to grow, be open to change, okay? Be open to be the reciprocal match to what it is that you see in your future. Be open to do that now, okay? Or else you're gonna have a hard time, period. So let's read what Brown Coat Blue said. I have a friend that had an arranged marriage, and it's been smooth and without any hiccup. I think knowing who you're going to marry from a young age can take a lot of life pressure off you. 100%. It's proven that the oxytocin we get from a relationship wears off after about 2 years. So that in love feeling will always fade. You got to create true love during that time. Yes, 100%. Yes. In love to be in love takes work from both parties. It takes two to tango. I'm always like, it takes two to jive. You know what I'm saying? So from both parties. And that effort comes in so many different ways, whether it's compromise, whether it's sacrifice. And sometimes it's not even those words. Sometimes it's the effort of you making yourself better. It's the effort of you truly observing what works and what doesn't work. Observation. You know what I mean? Reflection. That stuff is very important, not just for yoga session. It's very important for life, in everything that you do, with everyone that you're in any kind of a relationship with, What did the screen say here? I gotta get better at this. Let me do this, because this is just, oh, there we go. We need mentorship in relationships. People are too focused on instant gratification. Yes, but it's this social media stuff. People want what looks good and not what actually is good. People want what looks good and not what's actually good. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Every time I say that, I think of the stupid meme. You see what internet does to you? Anyway, let me tell you something. Um, that instant gratification gonna teach you a lot. Okay, it doing things for what looks good, it's going to teach you a lot. So if you thought that you were having troubles in other relationships, you're still going to keep those same troubles, because what are you really like? Dating with a purpose is important. You got to get clear on what it is that you want, or you're just going to attract anything and then learn that that's not really what you want every single time. And I don't know about you, but I done did that. I done did that and I done learned. And you know what I'm saying? You learn, you observe what were the things and the reasons why, and you make a shift, you make a change. Having gratitude and hold on, let me go back. What did Des say? You know what? And so Brittany, we need mentorship in relationships. So many times I'm like, I need to go live and talk about this topic. But sometimes I'm like, let me not say nothing. You know, who am I? Who am I to say anything, right? But there's so many things that come to me, and it's like, ladies, you don't even realize that you are the ones that control the relationship. And no, it's not because you have a punani. It's not because of that. It's your energy. You don't understand how much men are you're their battery in some sense, if you get what I'm saying. You know, so ladies today, there is a hint of mental illness in so many women that I'm like, you're not gonna ultimately get what you genuinely want, because you're not choosing to slow down and even see your own thought processes and understand why they are there. Understand why you even think like that, why you feel like this is a need when it's not a need, you know? Again, a lot of us, including myself, I didn't grow up with, a stable relationship to look at either. And, it had an effect on me a lot. The relationships I've had in my 20s obviously didn't turn out right, because I had to learn what was even happening. I had to learn from being in it. And then you start to do your own research, right? You go on YouTube, you read books on marriage, what it takes to have a successful marriage. You do these types of things, and you take the advice. It's just that simple. You take the advice. So you know what? Thank you, Brittany. I most definitely will show up whenever I have a thought or something that needs to be said that can help some of these ladies or young girls or even older women on what to do in relationships, because, but no judgment, because I was probably once upon a time, you know what I mean? So, it just is what it is. Why all you women only thinking about this in your late 20s or 30s? We are not falling for these tricks. Okay, Des. Because I'm 30. I just turned 30. And I'm telling you, every single day, I wish I knew better when I was 23 at least. I really wish. But here's the thing. I knew what I wanted, but there were still things that were missing. And, my mom wasn't teaching me because she had things to learn herself. And I didn't have anybody teaching me anything, to be honest. I had to learn from my own experience. I had to learn from being in a relationship that literally ripped my soul apart. You know what I mean? I had to learn, and I'm grateful for that lesson. I am. Now, unfortunately, I'm 30. Unfortunately, I like to think I still got the spirit of a 2019-year-old. I like to think I still got the face of a 2019-year-old, but I'm 30. It just is what it is. And so, yeah, a lot of women are going to be like that. If you look at how our parents were, Our parents weren't perfect. I mean, there's a very small percentage of people whose parents were even still together and working through their challenges, that we can say, you know what, I saw my parents fight, but I also always saw them make up. And so here they are, how many years later? Like, we didn't have that. I didn't have that. So that's why, and this is why I won't push any judgment on any woman. But what frustrates me is like the fact that they're not willing to stop and reflect and think and look at what's actually happening and actually think about how every action has a reaction. You know what I mean? I guess it's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. But okay, anyways, about what mistakes are we making. We're always like, you always want to point the finger, but never want to look at what it is that we're doing, you know? Brittany says, I'm at 33, but I always had this mindset. My parents was married successfully and knew each other from middle school, but sometimes as you grow, what you want change and you get to know yourself more. Also, in order to be in a relationship, you need a partner. Sometimes it takes to find someone on the same path. Yeah, honestly, I'm grateful that you had that experience of seeing your parents successfully married. And yes, 100% you change. Think about it. We are not the same people we were even last year. But the thing is being willing to continue to change and grow together and get to know each other every single day. This is why, like, we understand that, you know, in relationships or in partnerships, people have their roles, right? But expectation has to go out the door. You have to be loving with an open heart every single day. Every single day you have to love with an open heart because you're changing and they are changing, and being willing to get to know them every single day. I mean, we don't even have the same cells as we did last year. You know what I mean? So of course we're always changing. And like, finding someone on a path though is up to you. It's up to you. See, for me, it's up to you, meaning you gotta know where to go that will nourish your vibe. I mean, you can't just be a hermit inside and hope you're gonna find someone on your path, because chances are that person is also a hermit inside too. You know, like, you have to be willing to go to places and spaces that interest you, so you find someone that is interested in those same things and quite possibly may want to move in the same direction as you as well. You know, but everything is just a journey. The righteous path is walked by a few these days, but I feel like more people are coming around and learning and growing. 100%. And here's the thing, as much as I hate like manosphere and, you know, as much as I hate those things, it's a beautiful thing. And this is why I'm even grateful that I'm not gonna say I gave Kevin Samuels his flowers before he passed, but what we really needed was somebody to spark conversation. Not saying every single thing he said was right, or every single thing that we see on YouTube is right, because it's a hell no, it's not, right? Really and truly, you should be getting to know the person that you're interested in and working with them. Ultimately, you can't live by what you see on TV or online or anything like that. But they are thought provokers for a reason. You know, to provoke thought within you, for you to ask yourself, you know, what is it that I'm doing? Or for you to say, let me actually ask my partner, what do they actually want? How to support them better? How can I make this relationship better? How can I or we hold this in love feeling, and not because, you know, we're just in love, but because we're making effort to keep that energy. You know what I mean? Effort is doing, right? And like, you're only going to get the results from what it is that you do. So, I mean, we could talk about this forever and ever and ever. We most definitely can. I mean, relationships is like, excuse me, relationship talk is, I mean, I feel like probably the number one thing that people look up on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, I'm grateful though that at 30 or in our late 20s or early 30s that we're learning these things, because there are women that are in their 50s and still haven't learned anything, and like are not willing to change and are keeping the same energy, but still sad inside. You know what I mean? Still feeling like they're missing out on something. And it's sad to me, because I know that there's, we're creating our reality. So yes, there's someone for everyone out here. If that's what you want, but you have to be realistic about it. It's just like, for instance, let's say you are applying for a position. You have to make sure you're a vibrational match for that position. You can't walk in, if the position is saying we need you to have a bachelor's degree, you can't say, well, I've never been to school, but I'm showing up anyway. It's like, you're lacking in that. You don't necessarily have the requirements for the position. I mean, think of it that way. And I think that it gives people the opportunity to take more responsibility for themselves. Before I even started like truly thinking about relationship, and no, let's rewind. After, downfall in relationship, and before this stage that I'm in, where I'm really thinking about like growing a family, I had to think about taking accountability and responsibility for myself before getting into accountability and responsibility in a relationship. So, I mean, it's always gonna start within. It most definitely will always start within. And like for the queen, Brittany, who's 33, said you always had that mindset. I really hope that it worked out for you. Like hopefully you have been able to manifest the kind of relationship that your parents had. And if not, I mean, again, you just think about what can I do differently that will help. Also very much unless spirit says do that, or yes, you should do this. Sometimes I don't listen, like we all don't listen to every single thing that our intuition tells us. But when I do listen, I realize that I'm always in the places and spaces that I need to be, that will connect me with what I need or what I'm asking for. And that's literally how things went. Like, not to get deep into this aspect, but last year, my first year in Ghana, I spent a lot of time inside, because this was like an incubation phase for me. I was doing a lot of like, what it is that I want, what am I moving towards, like I'm entering into this new era in my life. Like, what does this mean? What does this require from me? What changes do I need to make? And knowing that I want partnership, but then it's like I've spent a lot of time inside. And so I remember something, I decided, okay, I'm going to go outside, like I'm going to go and do something, right? To put myself out there so I can meet certain people. And, I did that. I went to only things that spirit said, go here. And like within the third try, I want to say, after like the third date, I genuinely connected with someone who's like a prospect, and they are still around today, and I'm grateful. And so, it just, once you've like, I always say this to you guys, just begin with the end in mind. Where do you want to end? What do you want? How do you want it? Write it down. What do you need to be in order to have this? And start being that now, today. And you will attract what it is that you need. You're not just going to attract it by sitting down. You have to obviously do, you gotta take action. You gotta do the masculine thing while you're doing the feminine thing of attraction. You also have to have some sort of a plan, a game plan that you're following as well. So, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say on that, honestly, because I feel like I'm gonna be here for about 20 minutes and we're already at 51 minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to come out and chit chat with you real quick, and just see how this internet thing is moving. So we had 2 interruptions, but I think it's better than nothing. I was gonna say better than nothing. It's better than it not working at all. So, I mean, I appreciate you guys for being here. It definitely starts from within. And you know what? If you've listened or you're listening to this after the fact, just comment down below on like your own thoughts, and we can, and then you can give me like a more clear, you can, how can I say, you'll prompt me on coming live or doing videos on specific things. Like, for instance, I actually do have an idea on triggers. I felt like between when I first started dating the person I'm dating now, and now, like, there have been a lot of growth opportunities. I think that dating is a very, very great way to see your own triggers and to understand why those triggers exist and to rework them in the moment. I think dating is a great way because the people you attract into your lives are going to show you your reflection. That's all this reality is your reflection. We don't see with our physical eyes, we see with our mind. We're simply just projecting what is inside of us. Ultimately, that's what's happening. And so if us women knew how to slow down a little bit more, be more less in our minds and more in our bodies, and experiencing the moment, when things happen and things come up and we feel either attacked or triggered, then we can truly understand what's really happening inside of us, and, like, you know, acknowledge what's happening in the dark side. You know, the shadow side. I'm not gonna say dark, like dark is bad, but the shadow side of us, really truly understand what's happening there. Even just to give like a very very brief example, you know, like if someone talks to me too hard, I might get a little defensive, right? And it's like, wait a second, you know where that's coming from? Because masculine energy, which is genuinely what I want, that truly is my reciprocal, that masculine energy, can talk a little hard sometimes, but it triggered me because I immediately went back into like my little girl days when my dad is talking at me hard, and you know what I mean? It put me in a defensive position for a second, and like being able to say, wait a second. You know what I mean? Like, let's understand, let's unpack what's really going on here. Okay, first of all, the masculine energy, which truly is what I want, I'm not trying to clash with it here by upping my masculine and then us going at each other. No. What I'm trying to do here is understand how that energy manifests itself and how it can show up, which is not an attack on me, but I'm feeling attacked because of things that, you know, I have stored in my own shadow side subconscious. And so being able to slow down and understand what's truly happening in the moment, you can kind of put that like shadow side at bay and say, okay, I recognize you. You know, you give recognition to the thing, and like but that's not what's happening here. You know what I mean? And being able to move forward, and now you're just more in agreement rather than creating an argument or creating, you know what I mean? Like what's the word? Repelling the thing that you genuinely actually want. And so this is why I'm like, okay, I know us ladies, us women, us girls, we got a lot that we have to heal, but we have to be willing to do it in the present moment. You got to be willing to do it in the present moment. And I think one of the best ways to learn how to do that is in dating. You get like, see it as a mirror, as a reflection, and like see it as an opportunity for you to grow. Okay, see it as an opportunity for you to grow and like be willing to make change. Oh my gosh, ladies, be willing to make change, be willing to do things differently, because you might realize that you get a lot more when you learn to do things differently than when reverting to what I'm not going to say what comes natural to you, but like your past programming. Okay, so yes, Brittany or Ken most definitely will do this more often. Des says, brown coat blue, walking the righteous path requires some sacrifice. If that's not there, it's not genuine. And I agree. And like the thing about sacrifice that I don't like the word sacrifice, because it makes me think of like, bleeding, you're bleeding and like just totally depleted. But it's a choice. It's a choice to move towards the timeline that you actually want. And yes, and sometimes it means having to let go of the things that you might enjoy in order to adopt new things that you're going to enjoy more. Period, point blank. That's it. That's all it is. We're always changing. We're always evolving. You just have to allow yourself to do that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for sitting and rocking and chit-chatting with me. Most definitely, Ken, we'll do this more often. This is why I wanted to test things out. If I can make this a weekly thing, I will. But you guys got to help me. So comment down below and just whatever your thoughts are, so that way you can prompt me on what else I can come live and like talk to you about. But otherwise, if you haven't already, go right ahead and watch the vlog that I just posted this morning. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And I'll connect with you guys next time. Peace.